Hi guys, welcome to WeWantACup.com. As always, I'm the founder, Matteo Codispoti, and welcome to Season 2 of our show. We've made some changes around here, and we'd like to thank our friend OAKLEY for joining us on Season 1 and all the hard work and input he put into the show. As for this episode, we'd like to start off by introducing you to my new Movember. Say hello. Hello. And we're going to look at something near and dear to my heart, which is the reopening of Maple Leaf Gardens. After 12 years of it being a relic in our city, now they are reopening it as a shopping center or a Loblaws, along with Ryerson using it as a sports center. And what we'll do is we'll leave here and we'll go out into the street, actually go down to the gardens and get the people's reaction to that. From there, we'll probably head out to see Michael Langlois, another guy who has great input on this issue because he himself writes a blog about vintage leaf memories, and that's actually the name of it, Vintage Leaf Memories. So what's happening down there? Let's go check it out to the field where we're gonna see me interact with me. All right, thanks, V, for throwing it to me over here at the Maple Leaf Gardens. We're gonna get some fan reaction, like they said at the desk. So let's see what the people have to say.
Well, I think it's great that Loblaws is there because I think it's also given a chance to revitalize it. It's been sitting empty for so long.
Got to do something with it before it rots.
Wonderful place, great history. Thank God you left it the way it was and not tear it down.
What do you think could have been done with the facility as it was as compared to what's going on now?
Economically, I don't think there was anything that could be done with the site the way it was.
I would like to see Maple Leaf Gardens' name stay on it. It's a historic building, right?
If money grew on trees, absolutely. If it had been maintained as a different type of place without the commercial element, I would have liked that better, but I also recognize there's only so much you can do with funding.
We had it with the 6 teams, which is wonderful. And the 6 teams, you know, we didn't know them personally, but we knew their names and that, and they never changed. It wasn't a big business then. It was real sport with the 6 teams.
What do you think about Loblaws, Ryerson, and all this going on inside our gardens?
Look, I don't even like the fact that, I mean, this is not just dating me, but making me a dinosaur. I mean, I don't like the fact that we have to name, that there are naming rights for buildings, right? I know, like Wrigley Field in baseball, you know, but that was because the Wrigley family owned the Chicago Cubs, and it was Wrigley Field. But, you know, it was Yankee Stadium, it was Maple Leaf Gardens. That's what these things should be. I would go into the gardens during the day. In the old days, you'd just walk in. Right. I mean, I told a story one time on my website about, I was looking, I thought, I want to work for the Leafs someday. This was like 1974 or something. I was at the University of Toronto. It was like a 15-minute walk from my residence at St. Mike's College at U of T to the gardens. So I went over to the gardens, walked in, went into up the escalator, executive office, talked to the very nice people that were in the waiting office there, and said I'd like to meet with King Clancy. And 5 minutes later, I was in King Clancy's office. I mean, that's how the world has changed. So the gardens will never go back to being that, where some you know, lazy university student who was thinking, geez, I guess I got to have a job someday, you know, because I can't stay here at university forever. Thought, oh, you know, I'd like to work for the Leafs in communications and whatever. But the point is, King Clancy talked to me for half an hour. I mean, where could you do that nowadays?
King Clancy met with you, and
it's a different
world.
It was
our community team.
Yeah.
The Leafs belonged to Toronto back then.
Right.
Now.
Yeah, it's different. Well, and this is what we're talking about. So in answering your question about the gardens, that's why it's hard for me to answer, because it's like what I would love it to be can never be.
Remember always the ushers with their white hats. Oh, yeah. You know, and the gloves. And
the blue blazers?
Yeah, and I remember, you know, Michael, I remember walking in with my dad and holding his hand and you know, I went to quite a few games because we had these tickets, and looking at the pictures on the wall, you know.
Wasn't that the greatest?
I couldn't, because I loved hockey so much back then, and Mike Palmateer and Turnbull were sitting there and seeing these guys on the ice, and you know, even Rick Vive and all the guys, Rocky Saganick. I remember being in my dad's van when he scored his first goal on his first game, and I'll never forget that in my life. There's things that I'll forget, but I won't forget Rocky Saganick's first goal and my first, you know. So to me, the gardens, when I walk by, a little thing in my throat starts going. I remember me and my father. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the show so far. Thank you to Michael and the people downtown who helped us out. We're tackling some real issues here, the Leafs and the reopening of the Maple Leaf Gardens as a Loblaws, as you've seen. Kind of breaks your heart to see that kind of construction going on in our hockey shrine. Personally, We Want a Cup, I think we wanted it to stay a little bit more hockey orientated. Maybe the kids of the city could have played there. I guess it doesn't make dollars and cents, but sometimes in this city we got to get away from the dollars and cents and think about the Leaf fans. So please leave us your comments. Tell us what you think of not only the show, but what you think about the gardens and the change of the gardens. You can do that down in the comment area of the YouTube channel that we work off of here. From here, please come by our site and join the Bamboo Tattoo free tattoo giveaway, where we give you a free leaf tattoo. Thank you for joining us, season 2. We got some pretty good guests coming up next week, some guys you know and love from Twitter. And thanks for all your support, guys. It's been great.
God, did you see all this dirt up your home? Matteo sees it.
Yeah, really.
Somebody needs to clean this.
Somebody should really clean this.